Today we are doing 10 oddly satisfying art ideas. You guys have been requesting another drawing ideas video for quite some time. So drum roll please. I'm gonna do an air drum roll. Since there's gonna be a lot of drawing ideas packed into this, let's just dive in. All right, real talk. Have you ever wanted to draw an eye, but you kind of feel like you do the same thing every time and it gets kind of boring, and maybe you want to spice things up a bit? This one is for you. Get an ink pen, a fountain pen, whatever you have, and do a big sketch of an eye on your paper, but leave a giant space below it, because we have a twist coming at you. Alright, now that we added our giant rainbow tears or slime or whatever this is, you can color the iris if you want. You can touch up the slimy tear things, do a little bit of shading, and at the end, this looks sweet. And there you go, you have an eye, but with a twist. One of my favorites is covering a canvas or a piece of paper with a solid color and then doing some festive seasonal folk art on top. If you like abstract art and inking, this one is definitely up your alley. So I'm using a gold leaf marker and just doing some diagonal lines at the top. And then I'm taking a fountain pen and scribbling everywhere except for the bottom of the page. Filling this out, same exact kind of scribbles over and over again. And then I'm taking a thick marker and I'm gonna outline the bottom of the scribbles. That's all I'm doing, just outlining where they end. And then I'm taking that same marker and I'm doing it stripes to fill in the bottom. It's kind of cool, kind of looks like a piano, but it's not. So once you finish that part, then you can take a smaller marker or a fine liner and just do some hatching at the bottom. And it adds a really cool dimensional effect, and it looks really sweet, and it's abstract and really therapeutic to make. Alright, where are my foodies at? Raise your hand and tell me what your favorite food is down in the comments. So what I'm doing here is taking markers and laying down a foundation of a cupcake, but I'm not getting hung up on shading with the cupcake. I'm literally just using 3 markers, and then we are gonna switch art supplies after this, because mixed media is fun, especially with food. I love adding just the base colors and then going over everything with colored pencil. It looks really sweet, the blending feels really smooth, and yeah, I think the effect looks really cool. So if you don't have a lot of markers, or maybe you only have a couple, this is a great way to utilize them while incorporating other supplies. And at the end, you have a really cute cupcake, so hey. Yeah, so I really just want to eat this one. That's all I want. A cupcake. Even though I'm not using a sketchbook at the moment, I love doing this one in sketchbooks. If you want to add a pop of color to your sketchbook or just to your sketch in general, then you can draw a person, do the face, shade it how you want with your pencil. No big deal, right? The usual. But again, we're adding a twist. So this one to me is very oddly satisfying because you have a semi-realistic sketch of a face with this super bright neon hair, and it really pops off the page, it really adds some color, and kind of makes it very eye-catching and interesting. So after you lay down the hair color, you can go in with your pencil and shade over top the hair. Or you can stop right there and just have solid colored hair. Whatever you prefer. And if you feel like being fancy, you could even do tons of colors in the hair. You don't have to just do one bright color. Have your own creative liberties, and yeah. I decided to make the lips bright pink too, and here we go. There's our cool person. If you don't feel like drawing anything in particular, or maybe you're stressed out, you don't know where to start, hey, have no fear, you don't have to draw a certain thing. You can just draw a bunch of blobs and follow the rainbow. It's so satisfying. You do this fun gradient effect with blobs and repeat, repeat, and repeat. Now I must warn you, this one is very time consuming. That's why I'm only using a half sheet of paper. But if you want to go all out, you can do a whole sheet. And if you're feeling brave, let me know if you do a full sheet. I'm curious. Anyway, it does look very beautiful at the end. It is a great way to combat stress. And it is so satisfying to look at when you're done. If you have markers, crayons, colored pencils, or paint laying around, you can do this one. It's really fun, really easy. All you do is pick a color you like and do a squiggle. All right? After that, sketch a pencil at the end of your scribble. If you use paint, you can even do a paintbrush. So I am just going to shade my pencil and make it kind of cartoony. If you want to do a really realistic one, that would look sweet, but I decided to do a cartoony one for fun. Now after you shade your pencil and have it exactly how you like, you can color the lead too, and then shade underneath it to make it look like it's actually hovering on the paper. It looks so cool when you're done, and it's a fun pop of color. If you are into hand lettering, this one is fantastic for you. So pick a quote that you really like or a phrase that maybe you have said. I chose "You are not your past" because I think it's a very empowering quote, and make it decorative. So some tips on how to do that is do more than one font. I did print and cursive. And then you can dress it up by perhaps adding a decorative ribbon and putting one of your words in the ribbon. I did that in the middle of my quote. And then after you have your quote written out, you can really dress this baby up with some simple techniques. For instance, drop shadows with a different color. Just add your drop shadows to your word. If you did do a ribbon like me, color it in, make it pop. It's really easy. I'm doing another drop shadow with a different marker, and it looks really colorful now that all that's done. And then I did little sun rays around one word. And boom, here you go. If you are someone who is intimidated by shading, this one is wonderful for you. So let's borrow that technique from earlier where we just cover a piece of paper or a canvas with a solid color. Now, I want you to think of an animal that you really like. Now think of an outfit you really like and paint your animal wearing clothing. So the beauty of folk art is you don't have to have perfect, realistic proportions, and you don't have to do shading. You can add your own flair to this, make it whimsical, and folk art is simple because you use a limited color palette, you get to repeat a lot of shapes, and if you want to add texture, you can just do simple lines. So that's what we're gonna do. See those lines in the fur? Once I color in this sweater, I am going to repeat that same texture technique on my sweater. Ready for this? All right, let's do it. Now that our outfit is finished, let's add some plants in the background. And we are going to fill this space by essentially repeating plant shapes. And boom, looks really uniform, looks really polished up at the end, but we didn't do shading. And that's okay. If you're looking to make some home decor on a budget, or maybe do a gift topper for someone, this is a great idea. Just take a different color piece of paper and ink a plant on it. It looks really minimalistic but modern, and it really pops off the page. So, all you budget decorators, this is a wonderful one for you. I like to do this one, and sometimes I like to actually go outside and press a plant in a frame because that's another cool way to decorate. Alright, that concludes our 10 oddly satisfying art ideas. Hopefully you found them satisfying. But more importantly, I hope it inspires you to create. I actually make a lot of art idea videos and videos on how to fill your sketchbook. So if you're looking for something to binge, you can click this playlist. But if you're on a mobile device, you can click a link down in the description because it's probably not going to show right here, so I'm just not going to waste your time. There's links down there. Thanks for watching and have a good day. Bye guys!